Do you ever feel lonely or isolated in your experience? Or maybe you just feel a lack of connection or isolation? If so, this hatha yoga class on loneliness is for you. Hi, I'm Melissa with Yoga with Melissa. This is real yoga for real people. We are all about connection with a teacher and teachings that allow you to connect with your true nature and a community of people that are committed to a genuine path of spiritual transformation. If you're new here, we put out a brand new yoga class every Friday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific. So be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single yoga class. If you like the video, thank you for giving it a thumbs up and for letting me know what you like about it in the comments. If you're feeling overwhelmed or anxious and you find the spoken teachings too much, or you don't want to hear the spoken teachings, then just press the mute button and follow along visually. I have a testimonial for you today from MG Alonzo on YouTube. MG says, I love how the theme and the yoga poses integrate so beautifully. After practicing yoga for 8 years, sometimes it is so monotonous to keep doing the same poses again and again, but you surely give a new light to those poses, and I'm left with such a positive message in my heart. Thank you again for another amazing class. Thank you, MG, for taking the time to leave your comments on YouTube, and thanks to all of you who take the time to leave your comments, whether it be on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, my website, on iTunes, or in our membership community. I always love hearing from you, and we take the time to respond to you. And so thanks so much for that. We appreciate it. Thanks to Squeezed Yoga Clothing for our clothes. Today I'm wearing a long bamboo hoodie with the Tree of Life on it, and I'm wearing purple leggings. Thanks to Dusky Leaf for our props. Today you are going to need a yoga strap. Let's begin with our peace mantra. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvina Vaditamastu Mavidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So that mantra means protect us together, student and teacher. May our studies nourish us together. May we practice together for the union of the good of all. May our learning be luminous and purposeful. May we live together in harmony. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Now, for those of you who are doing this emotional healing series class, you may have done a search and landed on this class on loneliness because you're feeling lonely. But this class is relies on the first 2 classes in the series. They kind of set the tone and the foundation for the series. So make sure you've done episode number 391 and 392. They're foundational for the series, and they're important. We're going to begin in Crocodile Pose for our asanas. So you're going to start by lying on your belly. So begin by feeling your connection with the earth underneath you. And then feel into your body. And connect with your breathing. And just wiggle your hips from side to side, release your low back. Tuck your right toes under, lift your right knee, reach back through your right heel. Tuck your left toes under, lift your left knee, reach back through your left heel. Reach your arms out in front. Walk your elbows underneath you. And you'll come up into Sphinx Pose, a small back bend to begin our class. Feeling the pressure, the compression in your low back, not pain, not sharp shooting electric, but that pressure on your kidneys and your adrenals that will help to give you the energy for your practice. It's not unusual to feel like we are isolated. Release your buttocks, all alone in our experience. When we feel this way, we feel a sense of loneliness, a sense of separation in our experience, and a lack of connection. We feel cut off from each other and from the natural world. You're going to slowly lower down. Wiggle your hips from side to side. Release your low back and your spine. And then bring your arms out to the side like scarecrow arms or robot arms. Your arms are at a 90-degree angle. And then what you're going to do is you're going to roll away from your left hand side. So you'll take your left hand underneath your left shoulder, push the ground away from you, and roll towards your right shoulder with your left knee bent. Nice release for your thoracic spine and opening for your chest here. Come back to the center. Bring your left arm into that robot arm, that scarecrow arm at a 90-degree angle. You'll take your right hand underneath your shoulder. You're going to press into it, and you roll away with your left leg bent. And then come back to the center. Okay, let's come up onto all fours now. And you're going to take your knees underneath your hips, your hands underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Your elbows creases face each other. You're going to breathe out and round up through your back. And breathe in an arch through your back. So you're going to draw your heart center up towards the sky or the ceiling. You're going to open your heart center towards the ground. Drop your head, lengthen through the back of your neck. Open your heart towards the ground and keep breathing as you move. So recently I have been struggling with my own vulnerability to come forward with my own story, feeling quite isolated. The one that I am gathering the courage to tell more about my experience of living with migraines and the effect it has on my nervous system, my adrenals, and its relationship to my hormonal health. So just the other day, I was sitting and speaking to one of the health representatives that I'm collaborating with, feeling completely insecure, vulnerable, and isolated and alone about how to speak this message of hormonal health, nervous system health, and adrenal health. And he said, "Well, Melissa, those are the biggest health conditions on the planet today." And all of a sudden, I didn't feel so alone. Okay, from here, you're going to walk your legs back to the back of the mat. And then you're going to walk your hands forward. And you're going to tip your sit bones up towards the ceiling. Lower your forehead to the ground. Open your chest to the ground for puppy pose. And then you're going to slowly come forward and out of this pose. And we'll just come to Hero's Pose with your hands behind you to relax your shoulders. And then tuck your toes under. And we're going to roll up to standing here. Okay, from standing, you're going to need your strap. Okay, you'll have your yoga strap, and you're going to take it and place it over one of your shoulders. And you're going to take your feet wide, turn your toes out to 10 and 2 o'clock, and you're going to pull your knees back, and then you're going to sink straight down for Goddess Victory Squat legs. And then you're going to internally rotate your left arm, bring it up your back, And you can hold on to your strap there and then bring your right arm up and over. And if your hands don't meet, that's why you have your strap to hold on to here in Goddess Victory Squat. So loneliness is not a bad thing, like any emotion. I think you're probably getting used to this message by now. It's part of the human condition. Feeling isolated, feeling lonely is a normal part of being a human being. However, many of the painful emotions that human beings experience, it's one of those emotions that we often want to avoid feeling and we want to get out of as quickly as possible. And with loneliness or isolation, it's normal to not want to open to the feeling of loneliness. Okay, so let's come on up and transfer that strap over to our other shoulder. And just give those legs a little shake out. And then we're going to take your feet wide again. And open your knees and sink straight down. This time you're going to internally rotate your left arm and bring it up your back. And you can, if you can't reach, you've got your strap there, you're going to take your left arm, your right arm, and hold on. Maybe your fingers meet, maybe they don't. That's what the strap's for. And then you're going to come up and you can put that strap off to the side. And you're going to turn your toes to face the front. Place your hands on your pelvis. That will help you to feel your pelvis rolling over your leg bones to come into wide-legged standing forward fold. And you're going to roll your pelvis over your leg bones until you feel your sit bones lifting and spreading behind you. So you come into a wide-legged standing forward fold. And then you're going to roll your pelvis over your leg bones and come back up to standing. And then you're going to turn your toes out again. You're going to come back into that Goddess Victory Squat stance with your legs. And you're going to take your right elbow to the inside of your right legs and turn towards your left leg. Take your left arm behind you. And then come up just to give your legs a little break again. Give them a little shake out before we do the other side. And then we're going to take your feet wide again. Turn your toes out to 10 and 2 o'clock again. You're going to pull your knees back, sit straight down. And then you're going to take your left elbow to the inside of your left knee and turn and open towards your right knee. Take your right arm behind you. Okay, and then I came out a little early because I thought Tim pressed stop, but it was a wasp flying around the camera. So you know what? We're just going to all be a little bit lucky on that one. Give our legs a little break. That's all good. And we're going to come down and we're going to do, because we've got, wow, I was feeling energetic when I made this class. These postures, you know, loneliness, it's tough to stay with. And so I think I chose, I'm trying to think about what my thinking was with making these poses, but I chose these poses that, you know, are maybe sort of harder to stay with or harder to be with. And then our MO is to exit, right? And that's true with loneliness, right? How do we choose to exit? So the next one is going to be, you're going to sit down with your knees bent, feet flat in front of you. Take your hands behind you. Find the best setup for your shoulders here is your hands pointing out at a 45-degree angle. Okay, so from here, you're going to roll your shoulders back and down and lift your chest so your shoulder girdle is nice and strong and open. Draw up through your pelvic floor, draw your navel back to your spine, and then you're going to lift your pelvis. And you're going to hold. So here we're being with that impulsivity to want to leave. So with loneliness, you know, there's all sorts of impulsivity to leave that emotion of loneliness. You know, we might leave it by filling up our social calendars or being a workaholic or spending tons of time on social media. But we're just going to explore the impulsivity to exit here with the kind of poses that I've chosen today. And then you're going to slowly lower down. Just release those arms. And we're going to sit with your right leg crossed over your left leg. And if there's space, if your glutes don't sit equally on the ground, then fill the space with a cushion. Notice where you feel this, probably in your outer thighs and your hips. We're going to start here with a twist. So you're going to twist to one side. And then we're going to twist to the other side. Then come back to the center, and we'll do some side bends here too. So place your left hand down side bend to the left side and really open up the right side of your body. And then come up center and we'll open up on the other side of your body. So you just want to feel an opening along the left side of your body now. So you're rooting down through your left sit bone, opening up through your left shoulder, feeling a lengthening along the whole left side of your body. And then you're going to come up to the center and you might want to use your strap again. Place it over your left shoulder. You're going to internally rotate your right shoulder, your arm, bring it up your back. Left arm comes up and over, and if your hands don't meet, you can hold on to your strap, walking your hands together on your strap. And then you're going to lean forward. So another way that we kind of exit from the feeling of isolation and loneliness is that we might tell ourselves the story of how we are a victim or of how somebody else is messed up. Either way, we claim victory or victimhood in our discursive thought and our endless stories. And then you're going to come upright and release. And then we're going to switch sides. So this time you'll have your left leg on top. And you can fill the space, if there's space, if your buttocks aren't evenly weighted on the ground. And then you're going to twist to one side. And then twist to the other side. And then come back to the center and we're going to side bend again. Open up your side body. And open up your side body on the other side. And then come up, and this time you're going to place the strap. Internally rotate your left arm, bring it up your back. Your right arm comes up and over. If your hands don't meet, you've got your straps. You can walk your hands closer together on your strap. So with loneliness, we're encouraged to go beyond impulsivity, to avoid the emotion or propel ourselves into the stories, and to open to the raw aches of our heart. Opening to that sense of tenderness and vulnerability is a courageous act of compassion that paves the way for trustworthiness. When you make friends with your own loneliness, you realize that many others are suffering just like you. And, ironically, you discover you're not alone, but you are intimately connected. With loneliness, with isolation, with that sense of separation, we can identify with and connect with others. And there is a sense of tenderness and vulnerability that becomes possible in yourself and others. And through that compassion, you become more trustworthy. Okay, so you're going to release that down. And you're going to lie down on your back for Shavasana. You're going to take Shavasana on your back, and I'm going to stay up and I'm going to read an excerpt for you by David Whyte on loneliness. So taking Shavasana, if you have any back issues, you're going to lie with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. Taking Shavasana to receive your practice, and I will really read this excerpt on loneliness by David Whyte from his book called Consolations. Loneliness is the doorway to as yet unspecified desire. In the bodily pain of aloneness is the first step to understanding how far we are from a real friendship, from a proper work, or a long-sought love. Loneliness can be a prison, a place from which we look out at a world we cannot inhabit. Loneliness can be a bodily ache and a penance, but loneliness fully inhabited also becomes the voice that asks us and calls for that great unknown someone or something else we want to call our own. Loneliness is the very state that bursts the courage to continue calling, and when fully lived can undergo its own beautiful reversal, becoming in its consummation the far horizon that answers back. In the grand scale of things, loneliness may be a privilege. Human beings may have the ability to feel aloneness as no other creature can, with a power magnified by intelligence and imagination. Animals may feel alone in an instinctual way, moving naturally and affectionately toward the others of their kind, but human beings may be the only beings that can articulate, imagine, or call for a specific life they feel they might be missing. Loneliness is the substrate and foundation of belonging, the gravitational field that draws us home, and in the beautiful essence of its isolation, the hand reaching out for togetherness. To allow ourselves to feel fully alone is to allow ourselves to understand the particular nature of our solitary incarnation. To make aloneness a friend is to apprentice ourselves to the foundation from which we make our invitation others. To feel alone is to face the truth of our irremediable and unutterable singularity, but a singularity that can kiss, create a conversation, make a vow, or forge a shared life. In the world of community, this essential singularity joins with others through vision, intellect, and ideas to make society. So gradually allow your breath to deepen. Wiggle your fingers and toes. And slowly make your way up to seated for our mudra for today. So we're going to sit with the vyapak anjali mudra today. And you simply make it by bringing your pinky fingers together. You make a bowl with your hands, essentially. And you sit with this in front of your heart center. And this mudra ignites your heart with true compassion. And then we're going to transition from our mudra to our closing mudra with your left palm up, your right palm down. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to the happiness and freedom for all. If this video was of benefit to you, please give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments how loneliness or isolation has opened you to a sense of connection with other people. Also, I want to thank you for sharing these videos with your friends when you feel that it would resonate with them. I really appreciate that. Thank you also to Diane from Nova Scotia, Donna from Saskatchewan, and Khalid Albidor from the United Arab Emirates for your donations. I really appreciate your support in helping us to produce this show every single week. And if you want more support in opening to the difficult emotions like isolation and loneliness, then every single Monday in our membership community, we hold live classes where I support you with additional teachings and also meditations and a chance for you to ask questions and comment on your practice and receive support for your practice. And our members that are coming to that, their practices are growing in leaps and strides. So I'd love to invite you to join us for that. I'll put a link to that for members. And if you're not already a member, we'd love to welcome you into our community. So thank you so much for joining us today. I'm sending you much love from beautiful British Columbia. May your joy be as deep as our Pacific Ocean. May you be as rooted as the trees in our forest. And may you be as strong as our mountains. Om Shanti. Namaste.
Melissa would love to hear your questions and thoughts. Please leave your comments below the video. Thank you for your reviews on iTunes and YouTube. Your reviews help us to share yoga and a yoga lifestyle with others around the world. If you have a question for Melissa, you can leave a voice message at melissawest.com, and Melissa may answer it in an upcoming blog.